NPP muntie me party no enya me dia enya me nko na me sofo mo pa munni matem me se samimi nimbi munti me mapawa da ena se mafiri ye behwe samo se mo bewini mo challenge me mo musumu bewini election way mo hu munkunim dia safo ekutami o 2016 ena onyame de share me nsam me yesunsumu niema esonamu na me hire mo niema bi ubetim me onyame akoa the great Owusu Bempah ubetim me you are lying over challenge me say NPP for anhwe 40% kro munya 40% kro mudi agora munya ha mo behwe ebe mo nwa NPP mo behwe ebe mo nwa mo challenge me you are challenging me mo challenging me onyame tifo
Mema obi biara kwaba ede oba eye Ahintasem TV so abusuya Rev Owusu Bempah NPP phone timi wini abato okromo ada ewa abro no nensa sunsumu nensa ne mu bi yes se omobetima wini election pan ewa abro no Rev Owusu Bempah sunsumu onka ho bi ebi ntimi nsi da na omunkunum die safo kuta ho no watum onte se ombe bro mo ho ase na omudi buo respect ebema no na ene omse ombeko so adinatem asopa na dia ene omuntimi mbetraga na kunya so bie tinton tantan se dia omuto oprumu ewo eye dollar ho de safa no koma IGP no omusu kunum de safa watum 2016 Yakopon de sasafo no eye den ehye ne nsa na ono no enye ne na obehye nkomo de afọ aye politics ho eye ye mampanyo nya ba bi ko eye jeje wo hye ne ho nkom se jari ebe wini abato mo wini ye edu omampanyini kufo so wo hye omampanyini kufo nkom se kufo omampanyini kufo be wini e ma ne ye de e wini ye enti wono no se ka so bi mbowura sunsumu enko ka sunsumu nsem ana obi mbowura sunsumu enka sunsumu politics abakosem pade a onimu wa biye papa na abusuya o se o de one way eto e de amaburaga bia wa ye presenter bia a enei o se asem a waka se eye mampanyi dada eye John eye Mahama ebaba bedi eye oman panyini so biem na wa woni ma bedina eye radio so atra social media so adina tem no yale a eni aduro ne bebowo yare a eni aduro ena kire se bebowo cause o ka sunsun masem na de o ka no so no enye ono ade na adwere ka nemum Nyankopon na ada na di e de a kire no ena o so won kan to de onum sunsun mu niam a kwa no tum de po ba bitina unya eye gobabi a na kire se wodi ana unya kra kwa ne fufuo bi a na abusuya kire se wodi aye de wodi aboso ene Rev Owusu Bempah di nkomo yes eduru bi no utim se na oluman ebuofu ye papa e kanema kire se NPP fo e de aye no kwan omde na afaso e ya ne ade nyina na kire se eye na ija awo na komomu a edei o se NPP fo amro mu hasede a ene omon forget so mbetimi asabedi Ghana akonya esu ebi obusiam no beko na yakwa kotie ni nsam no o hyase e di free time a kire se o hye eye jeje honkom kofuo honkom saade baaya e di besi eye yewura eye president otakonya so na dodo akwa kofuo do e di baaya enei ababeduru eye John Mahama so subscribe to ye Ahintasem TV channel se de be video bia kire betum bia so nsabetimi akabie mesra wo se uwia na wa share na wa like so ayedan e di ama obusia yenti nim de ba da ma de bia no de beto ye wo so
Orion na me ya asora ma minia Bishop Salifo Amwako Bishop Salifo Amwako and Erade bie mani Erade kasa kire me say NDC be win election no na Papa Rollins obedin kunim.
Now again in 96 at Orion Cinema, I was invited by my brother in the Lord, Archbishop-elect Elisha Salifo Amwako, and I was ministering in his church at that time. During the ministration, God told me that the election of the contest between Jerry John Rawlings and John Agyapong Kofi, it is Jerry John Rawlings that would win the election in 1996, and I declared it. Now don't be tired of hearing what I'm saying, because I am about making a point.
Honor na papa bi efra na asase jima no ye BNI for boss.
Now at that time there was a man called Asase Jima. He was BNI boss.
Na ne ire wo ho.
his wife was in church.
nti ne yere ya pon ya na ne yere ba me nche
So when we closed, his wife came to me.
and was sofo
And he said, prophet of God, the hand of God is mighty on you.
and then atimi fra nipa kan ho nsem nyina
And she asked me,
how
can you call somebody you don't know and begin to tell things in the concerning the life of that person, and everything you say is true?
na sema o kan ye no.
And he said to me, man of God, what you had said,
me pese me no kom fie
because of what you said, I want to take you to my house.
na me hwe ma me no gina ho na
But when I looked at the woman standing before me,
o so ye nipa kase pa
now I could tell that she was a great woman.
me di na chi na odi me ko ni
So I followed her and she took me home.
no fre ni kunu
And she invited her husband.
no introduce me kire ni kunu
And she introduced me to her husband.
eye Mr. Asasijima
And it was Mr. Asasijima.
and o kan de nyame ma me kan ye no e de kire ne husband
And she told her husband what the Lord revealed to me at Orion Cinema.
and ne husband ani ji
And so her husband was excited.
and one me ya adamfo
And so we became friends.
nti ne ne bom pai
And usually we would meet to pray with him.
ma Papa Rollins and NDC
We used to intercede for Jerry John Rollins and NDC.
ebre bi no frɛ me na me call ho
There was a time
satam na ye use mobile phone akese ni bi no na Bishop Salifo Amoakon e wo bi na mso mi obi posi yeah me kai am say Mr. Niama Donko yes Mr. Niama Donko and all the chair me de kakraka ono so de kakraka
now,
kakraka bi no baby siso
now in that time the mobile phones that we had were very huge. I don't remember whether it was Mobitel or what, but it was very huge. And I had one. Prophet Salifo Amoakon had one. So that was the phone I was using at the time.
Ekwa no say mema yanko na onko chemade
So
ntime osofo esiama ena Holy Joe ena sofo edudakon ena sofo Amoakon ena sofo Alex na edoso.
So I heeded his call. I went to him and he told me he was going to show me something. And I didn't go alone. I went with Pastor Isiama. I worked with Prophet Alex. I went with so many people, so many. So we went to the place where he had invited us. It was, at that time, it was Abokobi. He had a very big farm. Animal farms. And that was where we used to go and hide directions and pray and do directions for NDC. And after that, I met with Jerry John Rollins. And when we met, he spoke Tree to me. He didn't speak English. And he spoke good Tree. Indeed, after that election, he won.
Still, man can come home.
But even though I got to know him, I did not come very close to him. And even when he won that election, I did not even go to him to congratulate him.
Satama busy, me ko Takrade, me ko Cape Coast, me ko Sunyai, na me ko Abuche, Canada, US, and baby to me many time me de Ghana akwa president.
Now in that time I was very busy. I was traveling everywhere, to Takrade, to Sunyane. I was traveling to Canada, to America, to UK, traveling all over the world to do the work of God. So I had very limited time at my hands when I was in Ghana.
Ebi oroma 1 year, me took about 6 times or 7 times.
Now there were some of the times that in a particular year I could travel out of the country for more than 6 times.
Ebrasuni, and the radical church say, Obesisa abine.
Now it was time for another election, and the Lord told me that there was going to be a shift. He was going to turn government around.
Now me your program our Manor House.
Now in Manor House,
UK, London.
In London, Manor House, UK, I was having a program there.
Reverend Kofi invited me. Obo papa.
It was Reverend
Edu Jemfi.
Reverend Kofi and Reverend Edu Jemfi Reverend Kofi is Obuo's father. Reverend Kofi and Reverend Edu Jemfi invited me.
Now those days, no Manor House, snow air talk, a demon my man in the Pagua Bontain, a snow air talk.
Now in those days, at Manor House, it was during winter. It was snowing. The auditorium was full to the brim. Yet there were people outside, and it was quite unprecedented in
a woman be.
So I called a certain woman during prophetic ministration.
And say, "Oh brother, obey Ghana president."
And I said to her that you have a brother who will be president of Ghana one day.
And
when I was speaking to her, I heard a name as Agyapong.
And I'm saying,
and I said to her that you have a relative called Agyapong. Thus saith the Lord, he is going to become Ghana's president. Now the woman started to jubilate and scream out loudly. And so she ran to Prophet Kofi and said, Papa, we thank God.
My brother, NPP, na oma chusuno, so nenya flag bearer. Inti me dream. Na dabe na beko Ghana, nipa mu ho, eno ni meeting komo we.
Now,
and I'm saying, Mammy, upon
now, out of excitement, she confirmed and said, Man of God, what you are saying is true. I have a brother called Agyapong. He has been elected as the flag bearer of the new patriotic party. And he asked me, Man of God, when are you returning to Ghana? And this was not in secret or behind closed doors. It was in the full glare of the congregation.
Can you believe, sir? Maybe Ghana, woman is edgy off. Enemy not play mobile Ghana. And what they call President Kofi if.
So when I was returning from UK to Ghana, the woman put aside everything she had doing, came with me to Ghana, and took me to President Kofi's house.
And the catcher President Kofi said, when
I met President Kofi, I said to him that now is your time. You can become president of Ghana. And God gave me a prophetic direction to do. At that time, the incumbent president was Jerry John Rawlings. And God used me prophetically to bring him to that position a second time. Now, that is why
I feel one or two maybe.
That is why I have said continuously, and I don't really know why that is so, but it seems that position called the presidency, God has used me, or through my hand, God has used me to bring so many people to the presidency, just about a few that I was not involved. Indeed, in that year, President Kofi won the election. So even though God used me and my hand to make intercession for Jerry John Rawlings, and Jerry John Rawlings won the election, indeed when the Lord intended to do a shift, God used me also for the next person the Lord had chosen to bring him to the presidency.
Nana Kufuado edikai ena ya papa atamils ediachiri Nana Kufuado prone bia wura edan makotra kunya kase ne so ena crofobia distracting attention ena ya papa atamils fineti ko wura dan makotra kunya no so na epono no mukatowe me kan o dem heya papa wona na wo ye translation.
Now I recall that even that one that I was not involved, God revealed it to me. I saw that candidate Nana Dodonko Akufo-Addo and candidate John Evans Atamils were in a race. Dodonko Akufo-Addo had taken the lead, and John Atamils was following. He was trailing after him. But I saw that even though Nanado had taken the lead and he was almost at the finish line to enter a door which was open, just at that point, he got distracted by certain people around him, and John Evans Atamils came to pass by him, took the lead, and then entered the door, and the door got closed. Indeed, what I saw took manifestation, and it came to pass. Atamils won the election.
2012 and yet sensible.
Now, as for 2012, what the Lord revealed to me did not pass the test of common sense.
Normal.
It was not normal.
NPP be win election, but enyo mu no mo betra konya no so omo ma power, but o be win election but omo ma power. Eno na Mr. Sane ba me office no say na be den na obi be win election na ontimi enye president. I think say Mr. Sane and Uncle Kofi omo mu ba akon am say, and I'm say papa de me hu no na sa na besi na mpa.
Now, in fact, in 2012, the prophecy was not didn't really make sense, because the prophecy was that NPP will win the election, but they will not sworn into power. They will not be sworn into power. Now, the prophecy really didn't sit well with so many people. One of my elders, I don't recall whether it's Mr. Asani or it was Uncle Kofi, that came to me and said, "Papa, how is it possible that somebody will win an election and not be sworn into power?" And I said to him that, you know, what I said was exactly what I saw. That was what happened in fact. And indeed, that was what led to the 2012 presidential election petition in the Supreme Court of Ghana.
I believe Mr. Asani.
I believe it was Mr. Asani.
And then Mr. Asani, sorry. Openi ayawa. About office baby Sameno. Wonderful.
Now put your hands together for the Lord Jesus.
And some make kyei.
Now you see, for all the
and
things,
it will help.
For all the things I'm saying, it is not the fact that I have digressed from the message I'm preaching, but you will see that all the things I'm saying are interconnected parts for the conclusion I'm about to make.
And to cut a long story short,
so to cut a long story short, in all instances, what God revealed to me, they all came to pass.
Wow.
Now, as I end my message, in Leviticus chapter 11, God gave a list of certain animals which he classified as unclean. Let no man eat them.
But Acts chapter 10.
But in Acts chapter 10,
Peter who say, and you're a fitter ayabonopo, and 9 hunti gumbebre. Onyankopon said, Peter, so the kum nedi. Peter said, no. Erade yachiwade. One akasa me mfiansanka. Na enye osu uchiri. Onyankopon said, Peter, diamate hono. Yankasa yefibie.
Now in Acts chapter 10, God said to Peter, God showed Peter a veil that dropped from heaven, and the corners of the veil was tied to the four corners of the earth, and in that veil there were unclean animals, unclean according to Leviticus chapter 11. And God said to him that, Peter, rise up, kill and eat. Peter said, no, it is an abomination that I should eat of any of these animals in that veil. God said, what I have sanctified, let no man call unclean. Now this is my conclusion. This is my conclusion.
Na enyura fita no mmoa no na eya mama mufu a ye ne ka ho bi na Yesu ebewu ye di ne moja ebetire ye ho edi sese yen yenya achiwade abi na mom ye ho ate na mogwama ne moja enti enu nti onyame betimi ehunu obi so e achiwade brebi ye twam sa nipa no hunu no ho so hwe tu anamo Awurade peso otu Nyamina betimi akoni pane cha ka che ne se mi hunu na ho nte ba fe de ho te enti. Now
that's deep. And so, the significance of the animals in the veil represented Gentiles who were not part of the commonwealth of Israel, but by virtue of the death and resurrection of Jesus, we have been sanctified by the blood of Jesus. So no more are Gentiles unclean. Now, in a certain time, God may see someone and say that you are unclean, and God may withdraw from the person. But if the person is diligent and knows how to take his steps, God will return to the person and say that some time ago you were classified as unclean, but this time, because of how diligent you have been, you are sanctified.
Onyame ontime nsesanda.
You see,
God adibonye na ewura onsesa.
God is,
but otumi sesanda adwene.
Amen. God is immutable. He changes not. He is the God of all creation, and all sovereignty lies in him. But even though God does not change, he changes his mind. God said he got angry. I am going to kill all these Israelites in this wilderness. God said, Moses said to God, God, do not do what you are doing, because the Gentiles will say that you have brought Israel out of Egypt to an unknown place to kill them, and that you were a wicked God. And so God, refrain from your thoughts. The Bible said that God repented. He changed his mind. God can change his mind. Put your hands together for the Lord.
Rev Owusu Bempah say, "Ya papa mama ntimi president biem." Na afi ono ase, and as I said, you are president. A church where you fake. Me pacho, Prophet Samuel na eno sra Saul e ma ne president. The same Prophet Samuel ya eno ka kire Saul say, "Nyame agi ahene na firi wusem na odi ama David." Enti Samuel where you fake. Ana.
Now I hear people say that is it not the same Prophet Owusu Bempah that said that ex-president Mahama can never be president again? Now what has changed? It is the same God that spoke to Samuel to anoint Saul to make him the king. Is it not the same God that spoke to Samuel again and said to him that go to the house of Jesse and anoint David to become the king because I rejected Saul? If in that time God used Samuel to do that, does it mean Samuel was fake?
Did David by? They
brought David,
the 8th son.
He was the 8th son. Now he was the 8th son that was brought to Samuel. And Prophet Samuel poured oil on him.
David so
he poured the oil on David,
the 8th son.
The 8th son.
Lo and behold, obey king president.
Lo and behold, he became the king because a mighty hand brought him out of the wilderness, and he became king. It was the hand of Samuel.
Now, Munimunsa ato President Mahama so. Munimunsa ato.
Now, do you know the hand that has come upon President Mahama?
Not
on the day he fellowshipped with the clergy. No.
Time untumi enko for didi matem ewo TV so pa me say mena me sabotage sofo kusibu aten ena ama cathedral no wantimi yansi nti me ni bre osofo no me bronsam de kasa kire me mfiri nyame na nkrofo iso omo ka asemi se dawuro se ho ahwan me hwa omo wo me mobile phone so me hu sa moti agye no machi ko jambu bobo muti omo represent konfo anoche abosom anoche konfo nsuman omo gyina nkrofo yachi akoye oto ya na o kasai was why I interview so ya day amoti gyina wachi okra no who hear deliverance. Amoti omufre ukugwa. Etwa ho ahia. Mimi nim no me hu ne da, ba de be hu. Ana me hwe ma de na me de me hu. Hwa minua no. Me ka no kra kire mo. Nyame hom ba David so. Bra Samuel.
The truth is that the Spirit of the Lord came upon David at the time he poured oil
Isaiah
on him.
There
was Isaiah
because
that God said to that God spoke to and said to him, go to King Hezekiah to put his house in order.
Isaiah so na no ye mienu because on one catch Hezekiah say your will ubewu.
Now they have accused Prophet Owusu Bempah that he says one thing today and changes what he has said. He is not consistent in what he says. Then if that is so, then Isaiah was also inconsistent in what he said, because he said one thing one day that Hezekiah was going to die, and in the same day he changed it and said, "That's yet the Lord, you won't die."
Minimum waha. Afutuo. When the Mexican machine comes on the bear president,
you didn't see that.
That's what we say. Me machine come say Dr. Bamian the bear president, and I me amasa be shankom say ya papa Mahama and no bear president. Etimi me fake. Munim dia moka. Me no me ya makwanhre e dia ma Dr. Bamian and onyame stop me. And no nkyere say me ka say obey president. Em say akonya na otena so no eno na eye me say that day mumusa samia wuku o ma na ka chem say vice waye mre ampa osore ye kura no ofrosora okọ bonkum ni nifa ansa na obeduru ha timi sama ni nyina ho nam se no makonwa me naya me ya metena so no satam so no mo ya kiriwia nam se no mentimi stretch openisa yaman entrance no nkyere say Machan comes to be president. And yan kure. A fair moment and comes another. A fair and comes another. Etiminiano. Tam na no modimiti. TV su di materno. Na me ne Reverend Steve Wingam. Assemblies of God suffer penny. Na me ne no. Ene President Mohammed Shia Bebiada. Neomo. Atembie nechi. Bibi sensi. Ya papa Baumia kwa koje ne forms afele ode kwa koma yisi na ya invite asofo free Kumase the private plane afoma free Kumase abakra menemo ne onkra ha me na me ye mpaebo ni akwankyere akọ regents ameguso me ye mpaebo yi mo ntimi mpa amfofun an invite me se membra ne nyina ye nkamom na ye mo mpaye e ma vice. The mihu ya ne say mahyiam sa party office o sa vice fee o aye saa de na wie se si ampo na mayimi afri mu ba de enya no eno kra de memfa ho eno kra de so ma ya me de chance akra ebra Nana Kufuado ewini 2016 o ma invite me and na me ka kire mo sai swaying no o ma mra me invitation. Enipa makon din sei o man pani na nadunti ye di tuo ba me so shutu ye ama boba ni bi mpa nka me ka na kameka tai na nkunim di aba ye kosua papa yi na mo invite me enti obi ba soro han mo ye sojani e na ofre Jubilee House no say adentina mo amre papa invite afi omo hu di omo ka enti baabi ana asofo no nkonya wo no sofo bia ne din bona konya ho me na me din ya konya bia ho enu nti afei obi card omo de command no omo twa mu tworo mi din ena omo sma me ya de bre me ena ko ba say omo mu ba ko ka say papa untimi nkonko gina wiem efere na asofo akonya no so ayema saa de ne baabi a metena no memo atena me nkyɛn am say Mr. Adon ase bibi Adon enunti na hu sem nam red carpet nso enye se ne ye hye manimonyam o dabi Adon baabi a no nam a ode me kan ho no ena ma me fa red carpet nso na me nka ho bi because na me din kura anim ye me frim eso still me koso bompae ema o ma pani na nado time chima 2020 or say we need election enti we no ya me die chance da e kira kura ya nchi me ntum but mo bin kasa yaudie na me de yesa yaudie never nemom je nyame akira me no e na maka erade na say me na mo so na sra solo ngo say ma reject no kosro bi foforo ngo eno na maye no the same Samuel I was Saul the same Samuel and was Sarah David ngo enti kai na hunu se enya yaudie te me de manu si me ya Saul se ne ment me anya administration na me ya aduma next week menya bre ay administration more enti Ghana for amonti Owusu Bempah ase na monte me frase senka yaudie dia ene nka memprim poma omunsi aso dem ha ka mempre kra ma vice ma ha ka mempre amobi ama ha enya yaudie sanse osofo de menye ye nyina yese me di tuo ko obi so eso nya no kre ni ye ko ama maame na hunu menua na nakwasi sade ote ene abrante bi efe na kwasi buache sade ono sote no hunu nipa na wo di na temo social media ne so no hu se nya me brother no agya matem didie because ofiri se me brother na nakwasi ena o ye ne TV program na o send messages edididi na tem o ye friends captions edididi na tem eso nya me brother na nakwasi na nakwasi bi efe no akwasi akwasi aboagye ase bibi nya me brother tina ye kwa mama me na hunu so mama ne ka kire ohene ne se Owusu Bempah ba hanom se o peace mini peace bi a me de be ma no free police se me di tuo abanifie eso ahemfo yi ene ka se ye nkohia na me ma ohu me brother no na onfa akwasi boache ne picture en compare me brother no ohu se nya me brother enu tini ye ko ho na asem no me mpese me kirem bebre esa na kwese o kasa wadodo na mafa so de ya chime na no kura so dedi say me de me support ama honorable alanchremanten enu nti mpanifo abu afume nti no ma chime na nipa obetimi am ya jame nipa ba akopɛ osofo Victor Kosi Boaten enam se chama huntumi saa na wo ka kire me wo se saa na tie na me kɔ na me ni o makɔ kasa because ono pe no obetimi ni IGP akasa me agya hawo na vice ene IGP e woni fie enam se mate afa me frɛ chama huntumi fu adum me honum na Mr. John Buadu eba sell so satami enya mfame nkɔhye na me narrative story ni nyina kyɛ no se ene ese ni kwa sɛ omu ye de omu ye enam se papa me kura no hono abalan chamanten mahu no so ne nam ho ba me ne ntra asese kura nkasa ada enti enya no kre sa me me support ama hono abalan chamanten because chief of staff ma me free mo pareado wona afre me se o man pani na nado se me fa me support ema baumia na ono o man pani pe enam se mate ampa mi di so na fe de wana be kan sa asem no kire mo se me de me support akoma alanchamanten enu nti yemfa me nkotum na je Victor Kosi Boaten pe ene betimi am ye jame ampara honorable John Buadi ohemanim ose papa de anya hwe omo so omo do tuma de omo mfon tum wo kira meba ampa yesi ni nyim atade ne nka me supporter emma no so sɛ so no ene ye die yi e opposite ɛna ma ne nyina so nso Owusu Bempah nie to mo nyina ba gyina hɔ na prosifo force me awro ma ho amana ka ne pant adofo no me ye pia me ahyɛ sɛ so my week because me ba so man di and as I time no crash na me home fa me papa but na nya too much me am hu say e bre because na me co training too much minianom omo di mi shem na me vomite me fe papa me fi afa no so brime and omo cells on no ba ko ka kire police ni na onom ni say osofo Owusu Bempah yenim soko ofo em so oda ha na ne ho wosu kikikiki police for no be hwe ampa omu nsa me ho woso ma fe ene yesi ade me call police hospital ene ade me call police hospital doctor na check him and say o pressure cost road do me so mini pressure me jino me afraid pa o mini pressure me ti me bobo 2 hours o pa mu musa soccer doctor mo ana atamosis mo ana say ubusa samuel jan kro be catch o me no mo bobo what ma say at me age me ti me bobo more than 2 hours but me nim de see here you have to trip persimmons now press for 8 aba say IGPC yamfa hakofa ngumensa order from above now fe baby a drip no ewo no eho na ede handcuff na body abom pam me pesa me call washroom kura akwadwo nso handcuff bom nsa mintimi nti no say sabe me de me dwonso hye me ho ena me sofa me ka kura say me ka kire gentleman say me pesa me use washroom pesa me dwonso oso oh ye betimi abre me polythene bag black ni bi wa yi ode ba ena am say ye minkum nipa enuti na na ye omo say yaudie na me de yesa no because of the oma ya miti enya yaudie minianom afei mensa hono because drip esimisa doctor no kura dia bufuo firi ho se bibi ya sofo no a eyemasem ama osofo chance osu frɛ me lawyer lawyer Gary no mako catch ne se no mo de ye odifo Owusu Bempah eno se ne bra ne ehu kwa be fa so enti sofo chance osu ko ho okoye a lawyer ne kan sem bi kire no o se ade no de efri ba bi efri na me ye call bi tu ye din ne tie no ye call no na semwa nipa ne kan ye no afei sofo chance osu bonani na osu o say hey NPP sa na mo de aye papa yi sa o ma agenda ne say ye de me kotun wa kuse IGP dampare se obedi asemo ye chi akosisi ye be jeli me ye de makwa akoshem e won samom ana akuse antisa unrest na minianom ye de me akokot judge ne kra ti asem na ohu me no woso asem we kra no eye moguo o me de meja asofo na mana kono ba bi na we ni sanya asem bi ehu hia sa na mo amuni paso na mo ye ne sa judge tu ho no onya call okoshe inside no pie ba ya na nim asesa me lawyer Gary ni makon kasa cross on kana no tum onya din mo san fa nko shem 2 weeks say 1 week oh boni ben na maye ade na maye charge ben na ye de abome ampom de me kotum minia me damu be 3 days and 4 days minia no me dam nyina na wioma ye kusu na suo efefe nti we nyina mo nhunu se power e wo ho hide obetimi achi Peter by nyame amfa ne nkwa anhye wo nsem a abofo baba beyi no now wonim biribi afei wo mu ahunu se de ekoso na nye we no opani bi a no wa bo kira de ne si oba ya de abufuo ekọ mo so no se he e de na mo ye no mugum ho ani masintimu papa ya nyame nam no so e de aba ban mu e na mo ye ne saa no afei me ohono ma na assistant IGP sorry assistant Mami Fremo Pari, assistant no. Assistant chief of staff. Obaya was saying, and say, maybe we have something to say. We heard an name Dean and a Musuti. Miniano. Na Anajo Yasada Makwakoto Hospital because still not me home told me. Near San the handcuff of the bomb and Sansa bompem. And I drew me on man approach for Abba. I don't know me baron, me so die. Minyani swadi and no crana me nigh, not me teachery. War and I'm a son me nine. And I mean who say police for 8 hour day mask a show my name. Edema wura pick up beam. Anna back one year me ha. And about one year, I had a handcuff, a bomb inside. And about quarter front, and at the old drive on Lucy. Now the other front, no. Adding in Koto, just see a conyano tesono, and where you injection. And what they buy woman. For their banam soul, our revelation to me, in the struggle, and no booyan, I'm a team, a Pia Monte more says when you're crate. Emma Bakubu Sam say, Papa. Oh, yeah, me say, I. Ono krano a police ni bia na oshim. Ampa, me catch Nana Kwesi, me brother, say na mehu. Tron kanche osofu cha so usumo. Inti afei papa yawo. Ena me second born Kofi. Ena Nana Kwesi. Ena omo de me car. Apaki wo police hospital. Esumbim and no more hair. Omuntimina way better. I just am no any answer. Into Obiada say 1 hour, say 2 hours. Now we add 1 hour, 2 hours. Anytime be a ompesum who dear coso. Omo honoma ampa na pick up a besio. Police for 8 CR. Omo the mass charge woman. Kutakuta tuo. Me shawon masadi mu yan say omaba. Sem penifo bi so omo me famemra. And no ye handcuff no. Every panum no more the ball me, no more the cobra car. Na me busom say na mo de me koi. O mu mfi me. E ho na papa ya awule. Ene na kwesi o mu move me car na be see approach for car denim. Me ka say na kwesi so di ni phone a video omo. Omo de mask na show omo ni nya na o video. Twitwa pictures. Video car na twa car na picture. Minuano. Mo de me kwan yo mu fi o mu move car no e na wo le su move car na di akire na ansa na no me brother na kwasi catch the police for ne say ye frɛ Mr. Charles Owusu Mr. Hobson Adoye ye be frɛ Mr. NS Owusu Bempah ye be frɛ from nyina afrɛfrɛ so de mpanifo sama be fa papa de na ekɔ ye nim ba bia mo de na ekɔ Omo anfi kra. Omo move car na awole su move car ne di akire. Omo de me kofa headquarters. Enua mu ho. Na still awole mu di akire. No omo de me pia kofa British embassy. Ho side ho. British Edema kofa ho. Na still omo de me kofa osu. Kofa stadium. Kopia Jubilee House. Still na kwasi any awole mu de car ne di o machi afei ba ko si ya ofiri so akapono na tum ne pono na mu anto de mte anso de broken English aka che nipa ne say me Crawford the cars e di akire na still o mu fa memra na say o mu nyai de mte anso o ka say sa ntime ya fa ne mba ti yenya no another time you and for mu sand me call back to sales Yamfama anko hospital hokorebium cell no mkoja metoye na mse revelation ya mihunyi na chese nkomo ko me pani akumi o tinka nyese nyame ma mihuye ame mana na kwasi ane me brother wule ane me ba Kofi osofo na kwasi mu edi akire frefren krofo mo de kas be di akire a komo kokume anka dampare nko kokume na chese de nyame ma mihuye no sa pepepepepepe minianom o ma me sa ne ma we nyina eso still omudi dwatoa eko Archbishop anim so ma pani ana asoma vice any NPP mpanifo Mr. Samia Nkuka ho Mr. Fredo Wareka ho omo mepa me chew mi jaa ma ne kai mi jaa de chew mo tunso mo ba ha ama Mr. Samia Nkuka ka se nyame nipa sa oba dwunso gu sire so a ye ntwantwene ne ye pepa ama mi jaa de chew mo ama me san ye se seme ne pa bo beta akire na emom migusu ame ye mpa ebo no minim die nti anyame ese wa reject wo mo enti anyame fault enti sa abronye ka se wo de ne ka akosi so mesumi fa ka mesusu a o abronye o power anka okwa akostande wa ma me fie se me mo mpa ma ansa na wako you came to my house now abronye o ka na aworo me ka se wo me fie emu de hin na obetimi ya compare o ka opa kokoto brain you ka na msimi to brain you ka na ye fancy so na wo wa we ka no a de besi me poska ha mo ba hwi ebe mo nwa NPP mo ba hwi ebe mo nwa mo challenge me you are challenging me mo challenge me on your meeting for Odi ampacho yedi na me fama nsi pacho yedi Cha uni odi ampacho yedi netie yedi pacho yedi cha utie se omu peniyi a awo senko omu bro mo ho ase na still omu pekwan bi so enimi nya ayonkofa sebe ya after President John Dramani Mahama 2028 ebi anyame be hu omu mobo amo masaba ba mo challenge me mo musumu be wi ni election way tie me se nyame ankasa nkyere me mpo a die meye no akwankyera meye no hwe NPP muntie me listen party no enya media enya me nko na me yesofo mo pa mu ni matem me se mimi nimbi munti me mapa wada ena se mafiri ye behwe samo se mo be wini ama abronye ediniki ato so agya ne ka o challenge me na munim kwa fa so ewini aba ayamu samo na asi bibi so de mo firi samo na asi so no ena me so ena munya asan hoto so munim kwa me kwa so me ne vice president entem wo abronya unfiswa enti ummambi ebunu ni na okasa ebunu kasa nkro de say lawyer no obiri yabo a unfiswa enti wo vice onu ni san komo no kusi buafo unfiswa enti vice onu ni san komo no unim kuta hodi akoso wo me ne vice entem me na me kire vice de wonye a on betimi amane ma adane me na me kire ko me yesunsumu niema esonamu na me kire omo niema bi wo betim me onyame akoa the great Owusu Bempah wo betim me you are lying wo betim me wo be challenge me Abraham de masema ebe wie. Se NPP fo anhwe yi 40% kro mu nya. 40% kro mu di agora mu nya. Mo munkunim die safo ekutami o. 2016 eno nyame de share me nsam. Se eda so kutami. Asima maken wa we blogger anasa presenter na obedi matem se me nyame difo a yare be bon a wunya du wodi e de maken obi pa hwe onim the more na mu provoke me no the more na mu lose votes ana mu nim na mo hwe na me tisi Asante region Muti agro na me kwa Asante region 85% na mo pere mo here 60% kra munya. You don't know me ehran ka munyina enti enye yaudie asasi arejate omo sense omo leadership omo man yema bi ama asasi akoma antone yam Ghana asasi buafu NPP political party ensuonsuo buafu enua buafu mo eno osoro susu buafu onyame tene da do su besi dan ma no edan na wai media metete say $58 million say $54 million ah mo de ba besi dan no ye hu ba bi afa mu ya mo de makotena chama wuntumi TV so say ya mi Owusu Bempah ena me kotia mo ena mo antimi ansi mo cathedral
abusuya nsam no na da ho no so betima jebre na da je ma kire wadwene about this particular video comment section no e dey on so wie na onya subscribe ya na subscribe wi na do nsa aboye adoma na so e dey ma me se dey be adama video bia jere betum bia no so nsa e betumi aka bia mesra wo se wi na wa share na wa like so e dey amame